heavens and the earth. Many trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God, the maker of the heavens and the earth. Yes, arise and shine, O you people, for your light has come. The glory of the Lord is risen upon you. Arise, O you people, arise, O you Nigerians, come out of your slumber and let's get the work doing. Let's get it started. Let's start to do what is right, and let's do what is really of Nigerian nature, because we are resilient. We are the people that inspires other nation to be called a country. And of course, one trait about Nigeria is resilience. One trait about Nigeria is never giving up on anything. So let's fight this together. Let's fight with any other thing that has to do with corruption, that has to do with the seeds, that has to do with unfaithfulness. Let's all fight it together. We can make it better. We can make the nation a better one, and a greater one at that. My name is SAMSON OMOTOSHO. The program is Press Drive on I-FLIER 103.3 FM IBADAN, the perfect choice station for you, the high flyers. Yes, it's about time we go through some of the news making the rounds this morning on our several dailies, and we're going to be looking at them one after the other, from the Nation to the Vanguard to Daily Post, and of course the Punch newspaper wouldn't be an exception, because we're going to take a look at them and afterwards do some analysis, and you get to call in. Okay, so let me say this. When you call in, try as much as possible to be as succinct and go straight to the point, hit the nail, and so we can allow every other person to be a part of the show as well. And let's be as very cautious as possible with our comments. Let's not allow emotion to ride over our judgment, so we'll be able to do our work clearly. Don't allow emotion to overcloud or to becloud your judgment, and let's be very structural with our words. Thank you so much as you adhere to those instructions that have been given. 1 minute each. It's not too small to actually make a comment on each story that you want to give, because we want to see if we can take as much as maybe 15 persons to call in today. Can we do that? Let's achieve it together this morning. It's the TGIF edition of a show. Thank God it's Friday. The weekend is here. Rest is near. Nigerians, Ibadan, welcome. Alright, so wow, if you're just tuning in, the program is Press Drive, and this is I-FLIER 103.3 FM Ibadan. My name is SAMSON OMOTOSHO. So I'm going to take you through the news making the rounds on several dailies, from the Nation newspaper to the Vanguard and Daily Post. I will take a look at the point. Congress begins in Ibadan today, and also hypocrisy of our expectations and the leadership question. That should be on the editorial. And also, government will uphold Buhari's family's dignity. I said that much earlier. And lessons we can learn from former President Buhari's life. Okay, lessons we can learn from former President Buhari's life. So you can read further to see what lesson to learn from his life. Also, Kiyamo says a thoroughbred patriot, officer, statesman. Okay, so a patriot, officer, statesman in this regard. Of skill. All right, no skips, just feelings on July the 25th. That's coming from Gucci. Also, Kimopra says, men I like shy away from me. That's the reality star. Kimopra says, men I like shy away from me. Also, Iniedo shares emotional surrogacy journey, calls for new narrative about motherhood. Iniedo shares emotional surrogacy journey, calls for new narrative about motherhood. And so in politics, Southwest quest for a new constitution. You can read further that Stolo Sport The Nation, Newcastle turned to Wisa after ending a Kitike pursuit. Newcastle turned to Wisa after ending a Kitike pursuit. Also, Liverpool closed in on a Kitike £70 million plus deal. What is it about a Kitike? Okay, must be a very fantastic striker. Also, Emirates joins Arsenal for world record £1 million field. That's from the Arsenal female, the female arm of Arsenal. Also, transfers. Igalo wants Osimhen to cash in on Saudi financial windfall. Igalo wants Osimhen to cash in on Saudi financial windfall. So Lookman inches closer to Inter from Atalanta. That's the much you'll be able to take on the Nation. Alright, so let's move on to the Vanguard newspaper. On the front page, Buhari's patriotism lived in deeds, not words. That's coming from the president. Bola Ahmed Tinubu says Buhari's patriotism lived in deeds, not words. Also, why G5 betrayed Atiku PDP in 2023. That's coming from Samuel Otom, former governor of Benue State, says why G5 betrayed Atiku PDP in 2023. You want to know why? You can read further that story. Also, court remands influencer Scott Iguma. Also, soldiers reject 13.7 million naira bribe from terrorists, says defense headquarters over there. And there's a cartoon here. But can I use your medical facilities? Okay, the cartoon picture looks more or less like Donald Trump. I don't know what it means here. I mean, is this a way of denigrating medical, is there facilities here in Nigeria when you have Donald Trump saying, can I use your medical facilities? I don't know. All right, so Tinubu's second term ambition, misplaced priority. Bogno Akirile says, Tinubu's second term ambition, misplaced priority. Bogno Akirile, his speaker register, provides a detailed update on governorship election. Also, police arrest suspected Lakurawa bandit, recover AK-49 rifle in Sokoto. Also, Buhari, your government failed. NMA tackles Femi. Actually said he had to go to London for better treatment over there, so he's been lashed on by the Nigerian Medical Association there. Okay, so that's the much we'll be able to take on the Daily Post. Let's move on to the Punch newspaper. Alright, pardon me, let me quickly take on the Daily Post. One about some news are still here for me to take on this morning. Bandits kill 2 as Nigeria police rescue 31 kidnapped victims in 2 states. Alright, so that's it on the national session. Also, Abia security outfit rallies youth for community policing. Also, your labor leader regains freedom after 14 days detention. Your labor leader regains freedom after 14 days detention. Yes, so your leader, you should know him very well. He's been on the show for 1 or 2 times. Your labor leader regains freedom after 14 days detention. Also, burial of Awujale. Okay, Isashi worshippers, the cry exclusion of traditional rights. Okay, they were excluded. Exclusion of traditional rights. Okay, they were excluded from carrying out their traditional right. Also, Buhari did not loot Nigeria's treasury, says Akpabio. Okay, you should know about that. Alright, Abosium talks on Lagos Airport mega projects. Also, troops reject 13.7 million naira bribe, kill bandits in nationwide crackdown. Another story says Ekiti Ondo doctors set for showdown over federal government pay review. And also 16 MDs in 25 years stall NDDC progress, says Ogbuku. Okay, on the Metro Plus, Session 4 in police net for alleged conspiracy, armed robbery. Customs under scrutiny as police probe Adamawa man's death. 11 nabbed over 2 schoolboys' murder in Kano. Taking a look at these 2 to face trial for illegal waste dumping in Lagos. And lastly, self-styled activist remanded for cyber stalking defamation. That's the much you'll be able to take on our several dailies. Analysis comes up shortly. Please stay with us. Alright, so while doing that with me, as always on a Friday morning like this, yes, he wasn't around on Monday, but he's back. Yes, this morning. Good morning to you, Honorable Femi ADEBISI. Welcome to Press Drive.
Yeah, good morning, Samson. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, the entire globe. We are here once again. I want to say, Baraka Jima to all.
Okay, so let's take a look at this particular story. Perhaps you might have to move your mic a little bit so it can be closer to you, so they can get to hear you better. Let's take a look at this story. Shocking surge. Electricity subsidy jumps 220% to nearly 2 trillion naira. Looking at that story, the federal government's electricity tariff subsidy jumped from 610 billion naira in 2023 to 1.94 trillion naira in 2024, the Pent report. These represent a 219.67% increase in yearly subsidy funding, despite the Band A tariff hike of April 2024. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and analysts observed that subsidy figures rose following the floating of the naira by President Bola Tinubu in June 2024, as well as the removal of fuel subsidies leading to high inflation rates. According to NERC, the federal government incurred a total electricity tariff subsidy of 1.94 trillion naira in 2024 to recover the shortfall between the cost-reflective tariffs and the actual tariffs approved for customers. It was reported that the federal government paid only 371.34 million naira out of the 1.94 trillion naira, 1.29 trillion naira NBAT invoices, meaning that the government incurred a subsidy obligation of 610.6 billion, in bracket 47.08% of total NBAT invoices. Let me just leave it at that for the length of the story. The federal government is owing this call at the moment about 1.94 trillion naira, and they paid about 610 out of 610 million, not even billion. This is, and can we say this is an affront to an extent that the federal government could not pay their own tariff? They couldn't pay, and it's really something we need to look out for.
Well, if you check that record very well, some time ago it used to be 4 trillion naira. That was that the federal government hold, the electricity generation companies. Maybe it has been reduced to about 2 trillion or something around 1.9. Yeah, but of course, how did they come by that particular debt? So that particular, and the federal government now need to bridge the gap so that they don't pass the bulk of that particular body to the public. So it is that particular body to the public. So it is that particular body now the federal government is complaining about, that look, we can no longer, because it's part of the responsibility of the government as provided by in the constitution, welfare. But it's a part of the welfare services that in terms of social, in China, I keep saying subsidy on fossil fuel, I don't know, it's unspeakable. Subsidy on what you call electricity is there, and the reason why they subsidize is to make everybody productive. if you lack energy, because energy is defined as ability to do work. If you lack energy, either is in a kind of affordable or available manner, then it means that you are not going to be productive. There will be declined productivity. So I don't know what you are aiming at. Are we aiming at turning around our economy to become productive, turning around our citizens to become productive? At the point the Western world made us to believe that if you have too much population is an albatross. No, but China and India prove us wrong. In China, they turn out,
chain by allowing important non-registered marketers to pick up products from the refinery using their authority to collect loading ticket. This allowed them to cash in on the price differential without incurring legitimate costs associated with logistics, retail station operations, or administrative compliance, making fast profits. If you look at it very well, the refinery noted that the diverted products were often sold at market rates far above the agreed subsidized prices, effectively undermining the core objectives of the scheme and distorting the downstream market. Miffed by this situation, the refinery directed the suspension of its discount scheme for its customers with effect from July 13, 2025.
Well, can we say that when the federal government see no sense in subsidizing fuel, Dangote sees it as, CNG vehicles, to supply directly, to the retail stations, fuel stations. But of course, I doubt if that is operational already. So, but of course, I think if truly Dangote is subsidizing, yes, that subsidy should continue for the benefit of the masses, not minding that particular set of people. You need to look at the end users and not the people. So all you need to do is to plan a new kind of internal control mechanism to make sure that one is off. But of course, I still don't want to believe that Dangote, that he is subsidizing. Yes, they are making too much profit, regarding their production.
Oh, that's it. And
expose you to the direct hit of most of the businessmen when it comes to provision of essential services. There are some things government does. There are some things government subsidize. There are some things government regulate to make sure that it is the government's fault. So these people are in business and they are out there to exploit. Okay. To fulfill the true meaning of what you call business profit. They are not godly. They care less about you.
Okay, so let's take a look at this another story. Ekiti. I'm going to marry two stories together so we can manage our time with it. Ekiti Ondo review. Medical doctors in Ekiti and Ondo states have rejected the recent circular by the federal government on the review of allowances for health workers, describing it as obnoxious and a breach of existing agreement, demonstrated insensitivity and hypocrisy of the government to keep the term with the agreements previously entered into with the enemy, the medical expert said. Okay, let me quickly marry that story with another story from the Daily Post newspaper, where presidential aid to Buhari. Your government failed. Enemy tackles Femi Adesina over comment on Nigerian hospital. The Nigerian Medical Association (NMA) has strongly criticized former presidential spokesperson Femi Adesina, describing his comment on the Nigerian healthcare sector as an insult to Nigerians. Adesina, during a television interview, stated that late former president Muhammad failed because you failed to provide the necessary facilities that requires the expertise of Nigerian Medical Association to carry on. Now, what do you say to this?
Yeah, well, you see, that type, it was as a result of the demise of our immediate past president. Yes, he said, "Why did your president die in London clinic? Why not Nigerian clinic?" Let's see, to mourn. You see, when our president died, do you know that Nigeria did not mourn? It's only the people that are affected that were mourning. So if you are talking about money, you need to remember what happened. I was still there when Murtala Mohammed died in 1976. Virtually every aspect of the country was shut down for almost a week. You will know what money truly means. when the highly referred author of Ibe dear Fagunwa died, there was a money across Yoruba land. In fact, here from here in Ibadan, we sang a song here. Say Musare titi mo mayeja mo rin gbere mo fẹsẹ̀ kọ mo re ni bí Fagunwa olùkọ́ rere òkè Igbo bí o bá dọ́run Fagunwa báwa kọ́ mọ wa ò Adélabú Kedumare bí ọdẹlẹ ọlá sunre Fagunwa gbogbo ọmọ dúdú wa ń ṣe dárò lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ olóògbé Fagunwa. You know, that was our whole rendition then. So when it is money, but did you see that kind of a thing now? No. It's only government, the people that are affected in politics that have money, and probably maybe the immediate family of the president. Why? It's because the government has not been alive to their responsibility, including the immediate family, including the current government. What has changed in the health sector? What has changed in our education sector? Yes, we are talking about envisaging the nearest future and starting our health and educational sector. Yes, everything is degrading every day. Now, it's an insult on all of us that not only that, education-wise, recently, 11,000 hectares of land was provided for University of Abuja. Minister Wike went there and took away 7, leaving 4 hectares. Out of that 4 hectares, 2 hectares happen to be plain rocks that you can't even build on. So what are we talking about? It shows that our government lack empathy. They lack, a
lot of persons actually allege the minister for giving land to his son.
No, even can you say no? Even the minister even has their friend that is calling politics bad name. Meanwhile, politics is the best form of governance. It happens in heaven. Because there's organization there, there are hierarchies there. When you have hierarchies and get things organized, when you have politics. So politics is what you have when you have democracy, when you have organization, when you have order. But of course, they have turned it, they will always tell you.
Okay, let's open the phone lines right now. Studio lines officially open 0705 51033 0705 51033 or 0905 444-1033. These are the lines you can call in to join the conversation. Don't also forget we're streaming live on Facebook at I-FLIER 1.
Right. The donor can only be heard. That's location when we have the problem. The important in your life, the beat is the drum to know that somebody gets as me. Let me stop my
thank you.
Continue if I'm allowed to talk, we will talk. Okay. When established, I know what is happening. They are now. God bless you.
Thank you. All right, so let's go for this quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Real estate redefined with Anujat Homes and Properties, your dependable real estate managers. At Anujat Homes and Properties, we offer professional, reliable, world-class services. Build your choice homes in any of our estates across Nigeria. Land and properties bought at Anujat Homes is free from all encumbrances, no extra charges, no land grabbing, no Omo Nile Wahala. Our land sales come with CFO, red copy survey, and other valid documents. Grab this special offer. Now selling Comfort Estate near Circular Road, Ajia, Matako, Ibadan. There is a
You're welcome.
All our leaders, they will not improve our medical system and educational system and social system that will benefit all the people because of their class consciousness, because they want to.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Samson.
Good morning to you, ma'am.
Yes, Ruth calling from Malacca.
You're welcome.
Yes, I greet my daddy in the house.
My dear sister Ruth, good morning. Happy weekend.
Yes, good morning to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, as regards the power sector, it's high time the people in government show more seriousness to the sector, because I still don't understand subsidy we keep increasing, whereas we are not even enjoying this electricity at all. So I would just implore the federal government and the Minister of Power to swing it to action, because we all know that power is the backbone of the economy. They know what to do, but they just keep enjoying free leadership on us. It's not that way, because good morning.
All right, thank you so much for calling the radio. 0705 500 0705 500 or 0905 444 Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. My name is Kile Balabi from Malaka Shabo Road. I just want to give kudos to...
He just had the comment. I mean, he had a voice, should I say, this morning. But I'm going to go to... I'm on Facebook, so I want to check out some few comments. Hello, good morning.
Mr. Samson.
Good morning to you, Pastor Ayodele.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. My honorable, sir.
Good morning, my pastor. How are you, sir?
Yes, sir. Pastor Ayodele speaking from Malakia. I read from the news yesterday that the former governor of Ekiti State, Fayose, has been cleared by the court of case, and that they have been granted his passport to travel abroad to go for medical treatment. You see, there is one thing I know: God is a God of justice. Let them continue to go abroad for treatment. We that we are in Nigeria here, we thank God, though. We really thank God that even the kind of
that's a lesson for them. But money cannot even save your life. So you have to do the needful so that everybody and everyone will benefit from it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that.
Samson, you saw what happened in US yesterday. Trump hospitalized. They said that he's having a kind of maybe ruptured veins, maybe around the legs, which might prevent free flow of blood to the heart. And not only that, it has a kind of bruised hand because of too much handshake.
Sorry, let me take this call. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Oga Samson.
Morning, Baba. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning, Baba. How are you, sir?
Amen.
Amen.
I want to speak about the gapping in the
These people are not just them alone. All the workers of Nigeria, if they work more, if the federal government could work more on our economy and improve our economy, I'm sure the minimum wages we are all clamoring is too small today. Will be more than enough for us to spend, and we will even be living a better life instead of them looking at us and then just watch the way things go from back to us under the administration. And on the other hand, that they have been complaining that their minimum wages are small compared to the kind of workload they do. I think they should also consider their minimum wages and do something on it, because the sad part of it is a lot of Nigerian medical practitioners, especially those that are even graduating from school, I don't blame those people. So, but it's the federal government that still want to employ, because it's not like they don't have the power to do the needful. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I'll take this, and which is going to be the last. Okay, I may not be able to take any more calls. I'm just let me quickly go on Facebook to see comments there. Kazim kind of says, "Good morning, Maestro. If Nigeria will get it right politically as a nation, then a viable opposition party must exist that would put the ruling one on its toes. Without this, we're joking." Thank you. Oluwashim Roof says, "It's so painful. Our health sector is nothing to write home about in the country, and this is because of the failure of the federal government. And to do the needful, it's high time the federal government rise up to their responsibility of giving quality health care system to the